if I have a bot that just keeps asking me stupid questions, trying to get to the root of some issue, and it doesn't really understand context or get me the answer right away, and then I got to turn it over to a customer anyway, or a human, that's just frustrating, right? I've already explained everything to your stupid AI bot that couldn't help me, and now I got to get a human on the line and explain everything again. So that part's frustrating, but I have seen some success in our Neo leads being answered and people having two-way conversations all the way up to setting an appointment. And these customers have no idea that they weren't talking to a human. Hello and welcome to the Independent Dealer Podcast, brought to you by Luke Godwin, Jeff Watson, and a lot of caffeine.
Ooh, Jeff, you drinking coffee? Are you now, Jeff?
No. It's hidden. It's my Monster inside of a insulated can so that it stays cold.
Yeah, so because the Monster is so much better for you than caffeine, and then coffee.
Beautiful. Not that I need it to stay cold because it is frigid here, man. I don't know how you're doing over there on your side of the country, but it is cold. Everything's frozen up. Our cars are frozen up. Tax money's frozen up. I don't know what's going on, man. I just need a little sunshine.
Yeah, you know what you should do is go to 20 Group in Florida, Jeff, because I heard it's warm when you go down there.
Yeah, dude, everywhere I've gone, I've timed it horribly, man. We went to Florida and iguanas are falling out of trees. I come back home. Now it freaking snows on us yesterday. It never happens here. We never get snow. And then I'm leaving this weekend to go to California for a couple days just to unwind. And it's frigid down there too. So can't wait.
Hold on. You're leaving at some of the most busy time, tax season time.
Yeah.
You're going to leave your dealership.
Yeah, my job's done, man. Cars are bought. They're here already.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Now I rely on my team to sell them. They don't need me. It's better when I'm not here, to be honest with you. And I think some of the owner operators can relate to that. Like sometimes when you leave, they know what to do and they just get it done. You don't really, hopefully you've built a system where you don't really need to be there. You know, the apps, they know how to handle leads. They know how to get people approved. Maybe some weird exceptions. They're going to give you a call on someone that's a little on the edge. But for the most part, my team handles it great when I'm not here.
Well, you do have good people. Adrian is great. George is great. So yeah, you have good people, but this time of the year can get so busy. Even when I was kind of not in that office, I would still go down there on the busy tax times just because I know they needed people to help people.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I suck at that. I'm not good. I sold a car yesterday to a...
You're right. You're not nice to people.
Dude, and it's like two situations I've had recently, and I'll be negative Nelly for a minute, but like a friend of a friend who it was an in-house deal, and it's like, dude, great. Do you make money? Yeah, cool. What car do you want? All right, I'm gonna inspect it. I don't care. Inspect it or don't, but it is what it is. Like drive it for 3 days, come back and talk to me. If you want it, we'll sell it to you. Like, I just have no patience for any of that stuff. So I give the deal jacket to my title girl, and she's like, dude, you didn't do anything. She's like, there's no proof of income. There's no references. There's not even a credit app. And I was like, yeah, that's not my job. Like, I don't know how to do that. And then we had another guy, a cash guy, trying to buy a Tesla here. And it's like, dude, I can't hold your hand and give you the out the door prices on all 5 of my Teslas. And like this, like, I just don't have the patience for that. So to that point, Luke, no, I'm at the point where I should not be talking to customers because I'm either going to give away the farm or I'm going to get us a bad review because I just tell these people to take a hike, man. Like, take it or don't. I don't know.
We got you're going to love this, Jeff. We got a bad review on Car Gurus the other day. And actually, since we're really not all that much in business anymore, it's a game for me to see how snarky I can be in the review. Anyway, so this was the review, a 2 out of 5 stars on Car Gurus because we would not finance a $5,000 car.
Oh, wow. And this Car Gurus, I mean, I don't know how their review system works. Do they care? Do you care? Do you got to pay them to get it taken off? Or is it just is what it is?
I'm definitely not going to pay these idiots to get it taken off. Does it blow your mind that somebody would leave a review because you wouldn't, a bad review, because you would not finance a $5,000 car?
Because you wouldn't change your business model to fit what they want. I get it. And that's the frustrations of dealing with the public and customer relationships, and even on the other side of it, you're going to get a bad review because you didn't respond to them at 3 o'clock in the morning and give the car away for free. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
It's so weird. Like, and my response was essentially most people put down $5,000 on our cars. So
yeah,
what if you find and try to find a outside lender that will finance a $5,000 car? They only exist.
yeah.
So it's kind of like consumers are not they are so uneducated about what cars cost. If you didn't know this, Jeff, the average used car price in the US is $26,000. Okay. And most people in that $26,000, the average deal, used car deal, it's a $4,000 down deal.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're going, hold on, you're wanting us to finance a $5,000 car? No, nobody does that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what's interesting to me is I've taken that whole review thing just completely out of my hands because I wasn't getting to it. I wasn't doing things. So, I have a little AI bot that I built that actually automatically responds to every Google review that we get. So it runs it through, make sure it's a 5-star, and then it writes back just an automatic response about the review, talking about anything they mentioned, and just automatically reposts it. So I kind of took that completely out of my hands because I wasn't getting to them.
How does it do? The 5 stars are easy, right?
Yeah.
How does it do on bad reviews? What do you do?
I don't get bad reviews, but if we're hypothetically to get a bad review, that's one I'd want to chime in on myself. Okay. So yeah, I get an email for every review, right? Google sends it to you. So if I saw we got a bad review, I'd go in, I'd talk to the team, I'd find out what happened, get to the bottom of it, and then do a personal review, probably with a little AI assistance. Like I'd write the first draft, then I'd drop it into chat and get a better version. But for the automatic reviews, it was great. And I'll share with you one more tip. Everyone can do this. I've taken it a next step. So what I use is a company called Zapier. I'm sure you've heard of that.
Yeah.
So they're basically a software that communicates with other softwares. And there's other versions of it. You don't have to use Zapier. I use them just because it was simple. And so you pay a small monthly fee to have this. But what it does is I'm using Zapier to bring in those Google reviews. It runs it through a little AI processor through my ChatGPT. Then it creates an infographic that gets posted automatically to my Facebook page. So every single Google review that's a 5-star gets turned into a little poster, a little graphic, a little image.
With Canva or
gets posted to my Facebook page.
Okay.
So I'm getting those automatically updated every day, every 2 days to Facebook content. Now, I took it a step further, and now I have it taking photos that my team uploads. So every time we sell a car, the salesman's responsible to take a photo, right? With the customer, the car out front of the dealership with them smiling, handing over the keys, right? The classic happy customer photo. What my salesmen do now, they used to just share it to the group and occasionally get it posted to Facebook. They just weren't good at it. So now all they have to do is upload that photo to a Google Drive that I've set up. Okay. From there, AI automatically grabs the photo, writes a caption for it, writes a little description, and then posts it to my Facebook page. So all that is automated from now on. The salesman doesn't have to create it. He doesn't have to log into Facebook. He doesn't have to post it. He just uploads the photo. That's it. And then AI grabs it, writes a little blurb that says, hey, happy days, great car, hope you drive happy, love you, 4 Seasons Auto, blah, blah, blah. And then post the picture.
I'm actually looking at your Facebook page right now, and it looks great. Good job. Yeah. I like that out of it.
There's a lot. So it's super easy, guys. If you get into Zapier, it'll walk you right through it all. You just link your ChatGPT account, you link your Google Drive account, and then you got to link your Facebook page. And that was the hardest part, trying to get Facebook to talk to Zapier and make sure that you're got the right settings so that it will actually post, and then making sure AI is pulling the right image. So there was a little finagling. It took me quite a few hours. But anyways, it's cool because it becomes automatic. Now I'm creating Facebook content automatically. And so my brain is starting to think of how many other ways I can do this, right? Can I do it with videos? Can I do it with custom stuff? Can I get AI to illustrate a photo into a video, right? Because A
Mm-hmm.
lot of AI, higher Chat GPT 5.3 does a really good job of taking a still image and animating it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so a lot of those things, the limitations I would say is that I haven't found a way to make it unique and more personal because it doesn't know the car that's in the photo. It doesn't know the customer's name. It kind of says the same basic thing every single time just because it has its own little repertoire that it likes to use. So
Yeah.
anyways, think about that. If you guys want to do that, you can reach out to me for more details. But that's kind of a thing that I thought, hey man, more than just asking AI silly questions and use it as a Google search, I'm actually found out a way to use it as a tool and a marketing tool, so to speak.
Yeah, I like it. It's anything because a lot of people are using uh, someone to manage their Facebook page, and they're doing that. This is another way to kind of limit your cost uh, from an outside organization. You can do it, and they're doing the same thing, but now it's automated. You got an agent doing it. So good job, Jeff.
Yeah,
Congrats.
yeah. Well,
Way to go.
I mean, it's not super engaging content. I imagine you could probably program the AI to be a little more clickbaity, you know, with its comment, or even program it to like randomly grab news articles or something and create content on your Facebook page based on either
I want
local news or national news or something. So,
I wonder if you could program it to grab inventory pieces and do it too. Probably.
yeah, I wonder if it could grab like your VDP page.
Yeah.
Obviously, if I uploaded a photo of a car, I could get it to do it. Now, how could I get it to post specific details about that car, in the description? You'd probably have to link it to your VDP page somehow,
Hmm.
which I guess if you sent it the link to your VDP page, it could grab all the data right off there and make a post. That might be an interesting one to try. And then just set it up on a timer that
Yep.
says, hey, every 2 days or every day, grab one new piece of inventory from my website and, you know, make this post. Here's the format. So, anyways,
Yeah.
could be interesting.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of cool stuff, man. I think a lot of these MLMs have come a really long way recently. A handful have kind of dropped newer versions that are really good. And I am just so excited for the future of integrating these into my CRM and my collections platform. And as soon as Neo and BlitzPay get up to speed with both of those systems a little bit better, I will fully let them loose because the text conversations are getting so good inside of these things. You don't know who you're talking to, and that's okay because you don't care. As a customer, I don't think you care who you're talking to if you're getting the answers you want.
I don't disagree. Nothing's nothing's worse than talking to someone who's an idiot. I'd much rather talk to an AI
Yeah.
bot that's not an idiot. So
And the worst are what we've had experience with are the bots that run you around in a circle, and that's frustrating, right? If I have a bot that just keeps asking me stupid questions, trying to get to the root of some issue, and it doesn't really understand context or get me the answer right away, and then I got to turn it over to a customer anyway or a human,
mhm.
that's just frustrating, right? I've already explained everything to your stupid AI bot that couldn't help me, and now I got to get a human on the line and explain everything again. So that part's frustrating, but I have seen some success in our Neo leads being answered and people having two-way conversations all the way up to setting an appointment. And these customers have no idea that they weren't talking to a human.
That's wow. Hey guys, just to jump in and talk about Buckeye Risk Services. They've been one of our sponsors forever. They're great to the industry. They're one of your sponsors. You don't even know it. Every time you go to a convention or something like that, they're there helping out. Isn't that right, Jeff?
Yeah, absolutely. I have not seen a company so willing to get behind the dealers from an education, from a support standpoint. I mean, there's a handful that we see in our sphere that are very active and always have our back, but Buckeye really sets the standard. So when you're looking for a reinsurance company, if you've decided it's time to get into it, you've got to call the guys and girls over at Buckeye. I promise you will not regret it.
Yep. Reinsurance, forced savings account, wealth building, tax planning, all these things go together. So call Buckeye. You know, apparently Tesla's uh, using it for email and all kind of stuff. Like if you need to call into Tesla to ask something, or you need to send an email to service, it's all running AI, and you would have no idea.
Well, I would argue that I do have an idea, especially if you
Okay.
call the customer service because they changed that. You actually be able to get someone on the phone when you needed something done, and now you're chatting with this AI that just keeps throwing you into a wall. You're like, I want to do this thing. Well, do this, this, this. No, 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 I can't do that. I've done that. It doesn't work. I need to do this. Well, do this, this, this. And you're like, dude, you keep telling me the same thing. It's
Yeah.
not possible. Like you don't understand. So the AI has limitations in that it doesn't understand anything outside the box.
Yeah. You're right. That's
Which
yeah.
Tesla's issue anyways is Tesla just and big corporations, they just can't work outside the box. You try to buy a car from Tesla, tell them you're a dealer and you want to be tax exempt, doesn't happen. They're not allowed. They won't do it. They won't even talk to you. But if I called into, mom and pop new car store, oh, sure, you want to pay retail for that car? I can write you up without sales tax, you know, sometimes.
Sometimes.
So yeah, that gets super frustrating.
I tell you what I like most consulting wise. I build spreadsheets and Q&As, and the ability for the new chats to just crunch data
Mm,
and help me. I can see some of the things, but the way it can really zoom in
hmm
and see blind spots that I don't see is just truly amazing. Truly
Yeah.
amazing. Um,
Yeah. I love your AI generated emails that I know are from AI, and then I use AI to summarize your 5-page email and give me a concise answer to what should
you
have been
know,
a concise email in the first place.
Jeff, you can suck it.
You know what I did use? Another real life example here. Uh, we had a Tesla show up with a wrap on it that was really weird, right? It's kind of one of those metallic color changing ones, and it
Mm-hmm.
had some scratches and it has a piece that needs to be replaced. Now, I don't know what color that wrap is. All right, I didn't put it on, and it's weird color changing all over the place in the light. So I uploaded a couple photos to AI and asked AI, "Hey, can you identify the color of this wrap?"
Yeah.
Sure enough, two guesses. The first one it guessed, I grabbed on the internet link, wasn't quite right. The second one, spot on.
Wow.
3M, blah, 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 to 2870. So
So you just went and got some new
yeah.
and fixed it.
So then I grabbed that code, that wrap code, put it in Amazon and just ordered a sheet of it. And I'm pretty sure, I mean, it hasn't gotten here yet, but I'm pretty sure it was spot on identifying that color of wrap. So that's pretty crazy.
Jeff, we're going to switch gears for a second, if you don't mind. So, you may have seen that Elizabeth Warren asked NIADA for some repo knowledge, some data.
Mhm.
What you think about that?
I think I don't know how much of this goes out all the time, and I just don't see it, but I think these people are always asking for crap, right? They're always going into industries and trying to get people to send them stuff or get on the record for something. So I don't know how much teeth or how much worry there needs to be over this or not. Have you
I,
read more?
um, I received a text from someone today that apparently was in a meeting with NIADA today, and they were a little concerned.
Hmm.
So, um, you know, you don't need to be concerned for the next 3 years, probably. But who knows? I don't know. It doesn't have any teeth, and they're just on a, they're just trying to find some way to claw back some of the CFPB uh, duties, I guess would be the right way to say it. And I think for dealers doing it the right way, there's nothing to worry about. But you also had Donald Trump, come out a few weeks ago and said he wants to cap credit card rates at 10%. It's a populist sway.
Could you imagine if they wanted to cap auto loan rates? I almost posted that to the Facebook group, right? When I saw that credit card rate cap, because they want to push those, the programs down. The argument is that the credit card rates are so high because they're subsidizing all the points programs for the higher end
Yeah.
credit card customer. Sure. Probably the case, whatever.
Well,
Now, what if they did that with auto loans? Would we be
could,
up in arms?
could you imagine having unsecured loans to people at a rate of 10%.
Well, you just wouldn't.
You wouldn't. That's the whole.
Program.
That's the whole point. You wouldn't. And so you have to have that higher rate because of default rates, right?
Okay. Like if they came to me and said, you can't charge more than 12%, yeah, you're buy here, pay here.
I wouldn't.
The state is capped at 12%.
There's no more loans, unfortunately.
Yeah, we would either A, stop loaning, or B, we'd start leasing, or C, you would find a way around it, or you would just stop doing it. And
you would just stop doing it. And unfortunately, it would hurt the customer, right? Are there bad actors in our business, Jeff?
No. Wait, was that a trick question?
It's a rhetorical question. There are some bad actors, unfortunately.
I think there's more uneducated actors.
Okay.
Or oblivious actors than necessarily bad. I'd be surprised to know what percentage of offensive dealers or offensive lenders are doing it out of straight evilness.
Yeah, you're probably right. It's probably more than
out of just I didn't know I couldn't do that, or that's how we've always done it, or I thought everyone did it this way.
Yeah. I think that you should do it the right way. Then you don't have to worry about it. And if they do start cramming down interest rates, then that's something to have a conversation about. Unfortunately, what the request for data, NIADA doesn't have that much data on this. And so it kind of shows me the lack of foresight or knowledge that maybe Elizabeth Warren's people in her office have. Real good let me tell you this, real good buy here, pay here dealers report credit. Okay. In my opinion, because I think that to help build these customers' credit back, you've got to report it. If you're not reporting, then I think you're doing a disservice to your customer. And that's just my opinion. I'm not saying people out there that aren't reporting, are doing it the wrong way. I don't think that's the case. I just think you should. And so a lot of this data is already, Experian has it, Equifax has this data. So if you really want the data on subprime loans, just go to Experian and Equifax. They got it all. And it's no different than, they can get this data.
Yeah.
So asking an association like NIADA to hand over data is kind of, you don't know what you're talking about, is what I think, because they don't have the data.
Yeah, so then you ask yourself why. And this is either just a shotgun approach that they sent to everybody. And so it's not much to do about nothing, and we don't need to get our tail feathers ruffled.
Or they're trying to extort money out of NIADA's
or put somebody on the record so they can catch them later. That's definitely interesting. We talk about that you don't want to be the first one through the door or keeping your head down. I think there's a handful of dealers that A, don't want to be a part of their association because they think it puts them on the radar for something.
Mm-hmm.
B, they don't want to participate on any kind of a government panel or government oversight committee because they think it puts them on the radar for something. So that is kind of the unintended consequences, or I guess the results of some of these government agencies, being heavy-handed or being so interested is now nobody wants to cooperate. Nobody wants to be on the list.
No, because whenever they have these hearings, it's grandstanding. They're doing, you can't. It's garbage. It's like, are you really going to ask a question, or are you just going to keep talking?
Yeah, no, they don't want the answer. They don't care. They just want a soundbite.
Yeah, and I think she mentioned a couple of things about GPS and things like that in this forum. So every couple of years it seems like somebody wants to start arguing. So some senator or congressman wants to start arguing about rates and GPS and things like this. And I don't think that you need to worry about it, Jim.
Yeah, I would think that you could regulate my interest rate when you give me funds at prime.
Yeah.
If I'm getting government money to give loans to the public, then you can tell me what I can lend at, right?
Yeah.
It totally makes sense.
And
when I'm
Yeah.
going out and borrowing private capital to fill a need in the market, you have no say in that. You can't tell me what to do within reason when you have no participation and no skin in the game. That I guess that's what bugs me is it's dude, if I
Yeah.
could borrow, you can tell banks what to do because they're borrowing money at prime from the Fed, right? Sure. Tell banks what they can loan at, I guess, or their programs or whatever, but I'm not getting your money. So,
Yeah. And as long as we aren't conspiring together to have a higher interest rate just because we can, then there's no problem. Because what I could do is say, well, Jeff Watson down there, he's charging 28% on his loans. I don't know what you're charging, but let's just say he's charging 28%. Well, if I'm your competitive, I could just say, hey, you know what? We're charging 22%. We're going to save you 6%. And I could undercut you, and then we could get in a battle, right? So market forces should take care of this, not the government.
yeah, absolutely. Hey, real quick break to make sure you guys know about Blitz Pay. It's who I use to take all the payments at my Buy Here, Pay Here dealership. We've been with them for almost 3 years now, and it is absolutely amazing. It's great.
Yeah, the product is so simple, even an idiot like me can use it. But when my collector's out and I'm just taking a phone call here or there, no matter where I am, I can log into Blitz Pay and I can take that payment. I can see the customers texting in and say, "Hey, can you run this?" or whatever's going on. It's always on top of it, and the money's in the bank almost the next day, and that is to me so important.
And the support is great. If we do have a chargeback or a dispute, we get an email that says, hey, there was this dispute. And then their team goes to work to help us resolve it. They don't just dump it back on your table with some random notification or email that you barely ever see, like my previous processors.
Yeah, that it's so helpful. And a lot of times it's because our customers did something wrong. But when it's not, they'll fight to the end with you and get that money back in your account.
Yeah, so give them a call. The guys and girls over at Blitz Pay, great partner to have. Definitely an essential tool to have if you're a Buy Here, Pay Here dealer. And that what makes me think about, we are getting into convention season here pretty soon. And, I know I'm putting them on my schedule right now and booking flights and hotels because there are a lot of great ones that come up here that help with this kind of stuff. So if you haven't gone to these before, or if you've debated on going, it is still such a great thing to show up to like National Convention and Buy Here, Pay Here United. And of course, the Utah State Convention that I'm in charge of. Love you to be there at that one. Because it is, there's strength in numbers and there's education that comes in these situations where you've been there before or someone's been there before. You might not know. Now,
Yeah.
you can't plead ignorance when these people come knock on your door and ask why you were charging this, that, or the other fee, right? Why your interest rate was over the state max, or why you had undisclosed finance charges, or you have 100% penetration on your gap and reinsurance products. Like, you can't just plead ignorance. They're still going to fine you, even if you act like you don't know. So go to these places, get educated, ask questions of successful dealers. I'm excited for a couple of them too. I think I looked at did the eastern states all combine into one convention?
So what?
Southeast?
No, it's not all the Southeast. It's Florida, Alabama, Tennessee, and maybe Mississippi. And it's going to be
smart.
It's going to be at the beach in Florida at the last weekend of May, first part of June. So that looks like a fun one.
Yeah. Save me a spot there. Give me a room.
And what was funny is I already had to be down there that week. So, you can just you could just say, hey, Luke, come speak and I'll be there.
Anything else you're looking forward to this year, Luke?
I'm looking forward to the portfolio winding down some more so I don't have to deal with some crazy customers. And I love all my customers, but sometimes it blows my mind, Jeff, how customers make such bad decisions over and over again. Customers that have had cars 3 years, 4 years, and they just walk in and hand you the keys. And there's times where this has happened and where you go, you could have traded this car anywhere for the value you owe. Like you could have gone and traded it in and you would not have had a repo on your record. Now you have a repo on your record. Why'd you do that?
Yeah.
And then you find out that somebody is giving them very bad advice.
That's most of it. Yeah, they feel like they don't have any other solution. They don't know what the other solutions are, or they just got bad advice. Like, oh, just turn it back into them. They're not going to do
Yeah.
anything.
Well, you owe $6,500 on a $6,500 car. Why would you turn that in? That's like, you're just, whoa, that's bad decision after bad decision. We've helped you along this far. And then they get mad because they have to have CPI. Well, customer, you've got to have insurance. Don't turn it in after 3 years. You still have to have insurance. And CPI is way cheaper than regular insurance. Why are you mad at us? You don't have insurance.
Yeah.
It's these little things that customers just can make bad decisions. And I hate to see it. I really hate to see it. And then they cut off communication from you and you can't help them. You're like, oh, I want to help you.
Yeah, it's probably the communication up front that would have saved a lot of that issue.
Well, yeah,
They just called and said, hey, what are my options?
right. Not you went to the new car store and they told you that you were upside down and they couldn't help you.
Yeah.
Well, no, that's maybe they're trying to steal your trade, but that's not really the case.
Yep.
I
see
get
that a lot.
It's so and I've told you this before and I'll say it again. Franchise dealers are the worst. I mean, truly, they're the worst offenders and they get none of the blowback.
I think they get some of the blowback because you do. I mean, I don't know which has a worse connotation than a new car dealer or a used car dealer.
Used car dealer.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess. Who was it that said something the other day about being a bunch of, maybe they blamed Trump for being a used car dealer or something? I think it was like Jim Carrey said something about, he's just a used car dealer trying to this. And it's like, whoa, bro. Yeah. Take it easy.
Isn't Jim Carrey from Canada?
Yeah, he should go. Yeah, I can't say anything. He's a funny guy.
He is a funny guy. I like him.
But you're right. I think the new car stores, some have a culture of profit at all expense, right? Because they're so large and they're typically in larger markets where they can burn through 100 customers and have tons of horrible Google reviews, but they sell so many cars that it gets buried.
Yeah.
And you got F&I guys that could care less about the Google reviews because they're only there for 4 to 5 years and they're jumping to the next new car store. So they're just going to crank as much money while they're there.
That's right. And I'm not saying that the actual principles of these new car dealers are the bad ones. It's the people they have to hire and it's the churn and it just goes from one store to another. Anyway, I'm off my soapbox.
Good. Because I'm out of here, man. I got to go.
Go to California. Go have fun.
Yeah, I'm gonna go find some sun somewhere, man. Look, I'm a Casper, dude. I'm white. Everything
you need some. Your head is shining.
My entire life. All right, buddy. Good talking to you.
See you.